friends, how are you? We are back at the day spa and resort, and it's time. It's it's actually a long time coming. We've done 2 videos now of the day spa. All links in the description below. One of the actual spa, one of the discotheque and little puppy area, but it was never ever completed. This has been a long time in the making, and it was time to finally just finish it. Not all of the areas look like they were part of the resort. They were kind of disjointed, and really the only thing it needed was some landscaping, a little TLC, and that's what we're doing today, okay? So this is the helipad, as you can see. And I didn't want to put more fences. Actually, I was trying to get away from the fencing, and I remembered that we could put rocks out, and they would keep out the critters. So that's what I did for that landscaping area. And then I was thinking, okay, again, I always try to think of my builds, like if I went here in real life, how would I want it to be? What would I want available to me? Well, I would want places to go with a group of friends. Say we came to the day spa for a bachelorette party, or just a girls' weekend, or even like an office resort kind of getaway. There's going to need to be places for groups to be able to sit and enjoy each other and eat. So I really wanted to focus on having a few really nice separate areas. So if there's 3 different groups who come all at the same time, like they would have 3 distinct areas that they could rent just for them, that it would be just their people. And that's kind of what I'm going for. I want to tie the whole place together with the trees. We went with the pine trees, picking a couple different flowers. The common heath, always in my favorites. And then the hardwood, trying to keep with the hardwood. So you're going to see me going back and forth a lot with the fencing. Again, this is one of those naked areas. You'll see. Let's just see what happens. I did mention I go back and forth with the fencing, right? I thought I put out the hardwood. Apparently I didn't put out the hardwood. And then it was like, well, do I want a fence? Are we going to incorporate that area? It's always trial and error. I know it drives Mr. Boozy crazy. I don't ever come in with like a plan on paper. It's in my head. It's in there, loosely kind of wobbling around. I know what I want it to look like at the end. It's just getting there. Getting there can take some effort. And again, a lot of trial and error. You'll see I'm using the rock kind of, not wall, but you know what I mean, barrier. Again, I took down the fence that was making everything feel really tight. I don't know if any of you all are claustrophobic, but it's not fun. And after I started using the rocks, man, I just made it feel so much more open. Like you can breathe a little bit better. There's not just fences keeping you everywhere. So the rock idea, we used that a few times. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't do that the first time round. already you can see how just adding trees, adding flowers, adding more nature changes the entire look of your build. Like before it was a desert, there was a desert. And now look at this beautiful area. And here's another one of those areas I was talking about. So if there is more than one group there, this is another area that you could reserve for you and your friends. This one just happens to be across from the disco, so this is maybe the one I would suggest renting. This is that trial and error I was talking about. I never get it right the first time. Again, how do you know what you're going to like until you try things, right? So I tried it just the natural way first, and then I really, really liked the way that these flower boxes looked. So, of course, I changed every single one I had already just planted. Ideas just grow. Like these little lily pads here. I hadn't intended to put a water feature here, but it just felt like it needed something besides just the benches. If you're going to sit there with your friends and family, you got to have something pretty to look at. I was thinking about, again, if I were to visit this space, and this space is based on a place I went to when I was in New Mexico. So if I were to be here in real life, what would I want that maybe the other place I was at didn't have? Well, we had this beautiful pond to utilize, and I thought we need some kind of a pier so you can walk out on the water and just enjoy being there, almost like you're walking on water, but not obviously you're on your dock, but just being out there in the middle of it. I love that feeling, and this space was just asking for a dock. Now this is the third area that I hadn't intended to do a picnic area here, but it just made sense. You'll see in a little bit that it's next to the waterfall, kind of behind the spa, and it was just a perfect spot to have kind of a a little, almost a more private area where there wouldn't be a lot going on. You'd have that beautiful sound from the waterfall. It's not as big as the other ones either, so it's just kind of a more intimate space. But I really, really like this addition of this third seating area. That's a little bit different than the others, but equally just amazing. So we finished the landscaping out in front of the day spa. So I was walking through the property and I came across the 2 bungalows. There was a space in the back that the sidewalk just walked into kind of nothing. So I decided to put a 3rd bungalow back there to give it kind of a natural stopping point, and instead of just kind of a path onto nothingness. It also made sense to me. If we had 3 areas for 3 different functions, we need 3 bungalows for 3 different groups to stay in. So here's me adding a 3rd bungalow. Now you might be wondering why I made them out of sand. Well, again, this is a place I went to when I was in New Mexico. So I was trying to kind of make it look like all of those little adobe places. And honestly, the only other option was the concrete for the color I was trying to go for, and the concrete did not go with the vibe. So we stuck with the sand, and it gets the point across. It's not perfect, but it's my little adobe bungalows. I'm just adding some accessibility. There's a hot air balloon up there, so there needs to be a way to get down to the beach. Also, if you noticed the holiday towels and umbrella, I decided to keep that there as a little nod to the original umbrella and towel set, because we all have probably switched over to the new ones, but that's just a little nod there to the OG umbrella. Yeah, because here I take them all down. You can see here how long this has been kind of in the making. This build started, honestly I couldn't even tell you how long ago it started. You can tell I have the old school stuff still out there. It needed a little bit of a facelift. So that's what's happening here. There was this little sand spit, and in my head, this is for people come to the day spa, they're there for the day, that's fine. But there's people staying at the resort, and this is kind of just like a little side area for them to enjoy while there's people maybe in the mineral spas or at those 3 new picnic locations. These are the people who are here just to chill and relax for a few days. This was for them. Making our way back to the front, to the teleport, to the helipad there. Full circle. And here we are. Whether you come from the teleporter or from the helipad, this is where you would enter the new and improved day spa and resort. with your first little picnic area here. Beautiful next to the helipad with a nice little lily pond, the lizard and echidna extra. And you can see you can go over the bridge, or you could head up to the spa. There are two ways to get to the day spa, and I'll tell you why. One side has stairs, one side has ramps. I really try to make all of my builds accessible. Again, in my head, if I'm here in real life, I have friends with limited mobility. So I do think about that when I do my builds. This water feature here is one of my favorites. One of my favorites in all of my builds. Whew. You can see there's stairs on this side. So the newest addition before the landscaping was our discoteca, Boozy's Boogaloo down there. Again, across from that beautiful new picnic area. Can you imagine just like having this area, like you and your girlfriends, this whole area for yourself? Wait till you see it at night. This is my dream spot right now. Actually, I think my original video was called My Happy Place because I could live here for sure 100% of the time. Again, I tried to make it the things that I would want there. The little boat, the little outside seating, the little private tented areas. You gotta think of it all. I really, really like how the picnic areas just kind of pull everything together. And then of course the puppy patch. This was probably one of my favorite places at the whole spa. You could literally go in there, play with the dogs. What's more relaxing than holding a puppy, really? And if you fall in love with one, all of them are adoptable. So here as well, if you love any of these, feel free to take them home. They would love to have a forever home. We'll head back across the bridge. Psych, we didn't. Our boat dock. Again, this is something I hadn't planned to do, but it just made sense in the space. And trying to pull together this whole like property with the wood, with the flowers, I think it does make it all flow really nicely. And then back with the little hidden waterfall and this third picnic area. See, I say I would want the one next to the Boogaloo, but I don't know. This little hidey hole one back here. Hey, something crash landed. Aliens. I think I probably love this one just as much. Again, I would go here. I would spend time here. I mean, it's a day spa. It's not all bad. Beautiful water feature. Look at that. All the way down to the ocean. Gorgeous. We'll head up the ramps. So this is my winter cabin. In my dreams, this is my winter cabin. Actually, so this is how I imagine all of those bungalows would be decorated inside. So in your imagination, when you see those little adobe houses, this is what they look like inside. Very quaint. Love it, love it, love it. So this is the central pond for the day spa. All the little water features. On your right, you have your changing room, your restrooms. To the left, you're going to have your mineral spring with the different mineral baths, a little seating area. Can I just tell you, this place called Ojo in New Mexico, if you get a chance to go. Amazing. Oh, I can't hardly talk about it. It makes me miss it. But it was gorgeous, and it was the inspiration for this build. Now this was not part of it. As you can see, this was a little added something for a friend, and you know who you are. Our little over 21 area. Again, I imagine like the people staying at the resort, this is something that's just for them. Because if you're spending the night, if you're renting one of the bungalows, Like, you're gonna pay more, right? So you have to have a little added bonus. And there you have it. Your own little private party area. No one's gonna force you, but it's there. I can't get over how well it all came together. The landscaping just really did it for me. It pulled it all together, again, using all of the same trees, grasses, flowers. It makes it look like one big cohesive place. Their little bungalows. And at night, those bungalows just really pop with all of those glow buttons on top. Another little seating area. So now we're getting in the nitty-gritty of the day spa. This is another mineral bath. It was pretty cool too because they all were different temperatures. So if one was too hot, you'd find one that wouldn't be. This would just be the salt pool. Again, all these things were there and just amazing. This is another mineral bath, and those pools at the real place were all fountains that had the mineral springs coming into it. And then again, that central pond area that was just so beautiful with all of the trees reflecting into the water. Oh, I mean, you don't go there to relax for no reason, you know what I mean? I would have loved to stay for another couple days. The sounds of the fountains, the sounds of the pond, the nature sounds, that also is part of that day spa just experience. Just getting in touch with nature, really just being present and letting all the worries just flush out of you. That's what this spot was meant to do. See, that's how we came in. And the flannels, some of my favorite flowers. I love the flannels and those common heath together. I do that all day long. And we just have come full circle. We're back to the mineral springs. Now instead of going through the club, we're gonna hang a right, again, for the little private beach area for the people who are staying there more than just for the day spa. This is part of the resort. Swapped out all the umbrellas, the chairs, the hammocks to utilize all of the new things we got with Summer Sun. A couple ice chests back there. You know, you got everything you need here. This full service spa. A little bridge that again brings you full circle to where we started. Just being at the beach is also very relaxing. Oh my gosh. So there you have it, y'all. Day spa and resort with a makeover.